Give you some more shots of Guyaquil on the way out of town. We didn't spend a whole lot of time here because, to be honest, it feels like kind of a grimy, polluted port city. I'm sure there's some really nice places in the city, you know, some nice squares and parks and stuff like that, but we just had to rest instead. Enjoyed our New Year's Eve in peace and quiet. In bed by 10. Ready to hit the road in the morning. On the way out to the coast now near Puerto Lopez. Be nice to see some beach action while we're here. The weather has gotten really hot now that we're in the lowlands, and I expect it's probably just going to be hot while we're going up the coast as well. So leather jacket's all I got. That's what I'll wear. But I'm probably going to be perspiring. Luckily, it's a holiday today, New Year's Day. So there's not a lot of traffic. Yesterday's traffic coming into town was absolutely outrageous. People everywhere, flying left and right, all different directions. Now, this is definitely a busy working town, so the downtown area we were staying in was just full of traffic and horn honking and stuff getting lit on fire, which is normal practice for New Year's Eve. It's not like there was a revolution or anything going on. One thing about Ecuador is that the signs to help you get to where you want to go typically are not present. They're not huge on street signs to label the names of roads. As you can see there, what road is that? Who knows? Sometimes it'll just be a plaque on a wall as opposed to an actual street sign. So you really got to keep your eyes peeled for those, because it'll be like made out of tile or something with paint on it instead of a standardized green and white road sign. So you got to keep your wits about you. Again, if you got a GPS unit and you're going to be around the city areas, this could be really helpful. Military base here. Some kind of soccer stadium. Must have been where the party was last night. Is that a Hyundai XL? My mom had one of those. Can't believe there's still one on the road. So you got all kinds of fun billboards out here. A lot of them tell you what the prices of cars are and what's for sale. And you got this giant bear right here trying to sell you some oil. Golden Bear Oil. You can see some of the prices of cars too, like 26 grand for a Corolla. $44,000 for a Hilux, which is a Tacoma. I saw an advertisement for a Peugeot 3008 SUV. $1,000 a month is going to be your payment on that. Then they had a hatchback, which was like $650 a month from Peugeot. Was it a... I don't remember what number it was, but that's not cheap. Pull into the Premax here. There's a bit of a lineup.
The fuel light started flashing, so I played with this and I got the range.
Yeah.
You get an average per kilometer and then you get range. I had 60 kilometers left, so it's pretty. You get a pretty good range off when it starts flashing.
I couldn't figure out how to check really any of this stuff.
It says range?
Yeah.
You got 86.
Yeah, so I didn't know how you can get the... It doesn't tell me my average miles per gallon as far as I know.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Oh, yeah. 4.7 liters per 100 kilometers. You need a slide rule to figure that out. Oh, look at that. Yeah. It's got the V-Strom as well. Yeah, guess it's gonna be a minute. Buenas. Dominic, nice to meet you. There's a completely different landscape out here. It's just dry, deserty brush. It's a far cry from what we've been seeing basically everywhere else, which was just acres and acres of lush green forests. But here, not so much. Looks like there's a guy on the V-Strom again. Looks like the desert's north of Phoenix, out on I-40. Just pretty desolate. Oh, hey, there you go. There's some green stuff. What are we growing over here? I don't understand these speed camera things. I don't know if they're taking pictures of me or not. I don't know if it's just to scare people. But I mean, they're everywhere on this road. You got cops doing radar as well, but there's tons of those signs that says this is how fast you're going. And there's a little white box on top of the sign that's pointed down the road. That might be taking pictures of the bike. I don't know. In Arizona anyway, where all the speed cameras are, there has to be this array of holes and boxes next to the intersection. One's got cameras in it, a couple more have lights on them, then they got another one with camera pointed the other way, then they got another box with like the radar thing that's actually on there. It's just the whole production, but here it's just one little sign, so I kind of don't believe that they are actually taking my photo. Here's some cops. This is like a radar check. They're just not doing it right now. So you can see the little radar tower on the top. Some kind of communication thing. I don't know. This road in particular, between Guyaquil and the coast, there must be just hordes of people speeding through here, because I've never seen any cops doing radar the whole trip. And then there's been probably 6 or 7 groups of them just on this one stretch of road. Plus like 20 of those signs that tell me I'm speeding every time I go by them. I really might be racking up a heck of a bill right now when it comes to speeding tickets. They might not let me on the plane to leave the country till I pay them off. Hopefully there's a couple-week processing period before they get sent in. But I'm sure I'll get a call from Ecuador Freedom Bike Rental telling me I owe them a stack of money. Look at this giant soda can. It says Pilsner Light. I haven't even seen that beer. Out here you got Club, which is worse than the Pilsner, and you got Club Premium, which is worse than the Club. And then you got Club Roja, which I haven't even seen except for in advertisements. And we may have just missed our turn, but it's all good.
Not exactly a whole lot of warning on that one.
Yeah. Is that it? It's the next one. So we haven't missed it.
Okay. So we didn't miss it.
Alright, back on the road again. The other thing about those little radar signs is most of the time I don't even remember what the speed limit is. It goes from like 70 to 90 to 100, but then there's 3 different speed limits for 3 different classes of vehicle. And because I haven't been diligent enough to learn what all the words mean, I'm not really sure which is which. Like here's one here. What does this say? Alright, so that's 90 Ks for buses. Alright, so we're taking a little cutoff here instead of going straight to the beach. Might save a couple of minutes, but actually I don't even know why we really did this road instead of just going all the way out to the beach, but we did, and here we are, and that's that. So we saw this little town off the side of the road called San Vicente, Looks like a ghost town from the highway. The buildings all look abandoned and stuff. So this is kind of a creepy little Texas Chainsaw Massacre kind of moment here. But that's all right. We'll cruise on in here and see if I can't find a cold beverage. Piggies! Jesus. Music scared me. Another piggy. Little baby piggy. That's a big speed bump. It's like the center of town here. There ain't nothing in this town but a sign that says the name of the town outside a church. I don't see a shop, a gas station, a restaurant, a grocery store. There is nothing here. Despite speed bumps and piggies. Alright, that looks like a little shop. Alright, so that didn't work. Let's go back to the road and get out of this scary town. Just water or something. I got one in the back, I think, so it's alright. Anywhere you want to stop where there's some shade, maybe?
Yeah, this isn't the place.
It's a ghost town, man. This is a ghost town. Interesting looking bike. Like a bumblebee face. There's this random music playing at this empty... There's nothing here. There's just a speaker playing music. What? I'm so confused. Some big old ravens or something there. Here's another one of them radar signs, but again, I have no idea what the speed limit is. I guess if it flashes at you, you're going too fast. 88, just trying to go back in time, officer, that's all. Alright, so we're on sort of the beach road here, heading up the coast. A couple of small towns, lots of tourists. Got this crazy ass Land Cruiser behind me. This thing is all off-roaded out. One thing you see in Ecuador, lots of people selling stuff on the side of the road. Anytime you get to a stoplight, there's people with like fruit and ice creams and drinks and all kinds of stuff just wandering up and down the lines of traffic trying to sell stuff, and they seem to do all right. Lots of people pick up things from them. Not me, because I don't have free hands, so it's hard to buy a bag of cherries when you're on a motorcycle. You got this guy standing in the middle of the road. Out of the way, people. I really need to get on the other side of these buses. Unfortunately, my bike is too wide to pull any shenanigans right here. Smells like a dirty fish market. Alright, let's make one move. We're gonna get around both of these buses, thank goodness. Oh, that was ridiculous. Yeah, there's a restaurant that looks like a ship. This is definitely a popular stretch of beach. Look at them birds, pelicans, cruising. This kind of place can be all right for you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sort of all very much the same. Get a little view of the ocean.
Yeah.
It'll be all right.
The beach, miles and miles of beach. It's pretty crowded back where all the restaurants are in town, but out here is just nobody. Quiet stretch of beach. It is unbelievably windy though. It's just roaring in my helmet. I like the cops out here. They're beeping at me for not passing this cab on a double yellow. I thought that was illegal, but this guy doesn't really seem to care. And now everyone's going too slow, so he just throws his lights on and starts squawking at everybody to get out of the way. I'm loving it. Got like a blocker. Cop just put on his blinker for a curve in the road. That's a drunk move right there. I love this guy. He's the most impatient cop ever. Another ADV rider there. Been seeing way more on this side of the country than I did in the other. Then again, after riding through all that rain and fog and nonsense, I'm not surprised. This is probably the area you want to pick if you'd like a nice, easy, leisurely ride. Alright, passing through Olon right now. We just rode the bikes down to the beach, had a chat with some friendly Colombian farmers who also happen to be artists. Here's a picture of their sand art. So it looks like we got a little bit of a mountainous stretch ahead of us, just a small one. Some nice curvy twisties. Take us down to the next set of beach towns, at which point we will find our hotel for the night. Osteria La Barquita. None of the rooms had 2 beds, so I ended up getting a regular room and a villa. It's like a whole house just so I could get a bed. Seems a little overkill, but that's all right. As long as I got a place to rest my head and get a cold adult beverage, I will be happy. Some nice beach houses down there. Well, they got some impressive gates. That's what I noticed in South America. You don't have an impressive gate, it don't even matter. I remember going down to Cancun, and there'd be resorts that hadn't even been built yet. They haven't even cleared any ground, but it's got a huge grand gate in front. Make it look like it's a 5-star establishment. I think that's where we're staying next time, or in a couple of days. It's actually right in there. The House of Pio Pio. So we're actually backtracking a little bit because there wasn't any available hotels around here tonight because everyone in Ecuador is on vacation. Seems kind of funny if you're from North America that you'd take a beach vacation on New Year's Eve because it's probably going to be cold. But down here, not so much. Makes all kinds of sense. Bienvenidos a Ayampe. Hey, that's pretty. Got some cliffs in the distance. Nice U-shaped beach. Hopefully it's not too far away for the camera to pick it up. And if this is Ayampe, that means we're real close. It's almost beer o'clock. Well, now we're heading towards Puerto Lopez to go find a mirador. And there's a big hole in the road. Doing some plumbing. So we should be able to find a nice mirador. There's plenty of those in South America. It just means like a scenic lookout. There's one of those in a bit of a national park before we get to Puerto Lopez. So we're gonna go check out the scenery there. And then on the other side of Puerto Lopez is supposedly a really nice looking beach. So we'll take the dirt road down there and see what there is to see. Look at these people having to cross these speed bumps sideways because they're crazy. Nah!
That actually jump out the bag?
Yep.
No shit.
Well, that must be Puerto Lopez, which means we missed the mirador. a tunnel of trees. cámara.
¿Me puede tomar fotos?
Sí, video.
A ver,
So this is El Rinconada, only place I've ever been where the road just dead ends at a soccer field. But hey, why not? It's a cool little twisty road here. This little town's kind of off the main road. You gotta really want to come here. It's not something you're just gonna drive through by accident, as opposed to all of these other beach towns which are just along the road. Seems like kind of a fishing village. There's a bunch of boats down the bottom. But great views though, look at that. Not much in La Rinconada. There's just a couple of small cafes. So we stopped and had an ice cream. And now it's on to our next hotel. Well, actually it's a VRBO, La Casa de Pio Pio. I don't know if it's coincidence or not, but one of the biggest chicken chains around here, like fried chickens, is Pio Pio. We tried it once at a gas station. It was pretty terrible. But maybe Mr. Pio Pio himself made a fortune on his chicken business and decided to buy a house down on the coast and rent it out to people. Make some extra dough. And now we're back in the jungly bit. Alright, so this is the Casa de Pio Pio. It's a really nice little spread of 3 houses here, and you can rent whichever one suits your size needs. And there's a bunch of nice houses along this little coastal area here. This is where some of the nicer properties I've seen are. Here just north of Olan, and the one we're staying at's no exception. There's one house that can fit 15 people. Ours you can sleep 6 if you got kids. There's like some bunk beds and stuff. And then there's another one, I'm not sure how large it is, but there's beach access, huge beach on the other side. Hardly any people on it, so mostly private. There's a full kitchen in there, and there's a grill outside. There's a herb garden. I don't know how much work we really want to do since we're on vacation. I don't know if I want to get a big old charcoal grill going for dinner every night. Because who wants to cook when you're on vacation? First time I've gotten to ride without my coat because I didn't have anywhere to put it really. And it is so much nicer. I am not sweating profusely. So right now we're going to jam into town and get some of the essentials. You know, like beer. We'll see what kind of selection of beer they have. Supposedly there's a Chinese supermarket over here. Hopefully it's not just Club and Club Premium or Club Platinum. Blah! Pilsner's the only local tolerable one. There is a micro brew, or an artisanal brewery as they call it, called Latitude Zero. And we've had 4 of their beers. They had a real dark one, they had an amber, they have an export, and they have a Belgian double. All of them are pretty decent. If you can find those beers when you're out here, I would say go for those. But 9 times out of 10, you're going to be stuck with Club and Pilsner. Another one of these famous Ecuadorian speed bumps. These things are enormous. The Ferrari Owners Club of South America is certainly not going to be doing any tours down around these parts of the world. This is actually like an off-road bike, and I've bottomed it out on one of the speed bumps earlier. It's a good thing I got a skid plate on the bottom of this, or my oil filter would be back by the equator. Here's a fancy gate for you. So this is Olon. There's a lot more to it behind the scenes. If you just drive down the main road, you'd have no idea there was all this life going on back here. We were worried the town might be too small to be able to find breakfast and dinner and stuff like that for us, but it looks like a pretty happening place. There's all kinds of people out here. Lots of backpackers, lots of hostels, lots of cars, lots of restaurants. I think we're going to be in good shape. Oh yeah, there's all kinds going on down here.